What's up guys, Matchstick Gamer here, and I just want to talk about the Super Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime today. And I'm not really going to talk too much in, new information because there's not really too much new info out there. This is just going to be sort of talking about maybe some misconceptions the community has and where I personally think they may have got this from, or at least some speculation about where I think they got this from. One of them I do have somewhat of a factual place where they likely got it from, but we'll get into that whenever we cover it. So with that said, let's get into the first big one, which I argue is somewhat dumb, that the Super Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime is a fan-made series. I have no idea where this came from, if I'm being honest, but my speculation on it is that people think that simply because something is not part of the main continuity or is non-canon, whatever you want to say, that it instantly means it's a fan-made thing. This could not be further from the truth. Just because something is not part of the main continuity does not instantly mean it is, a fan-made thing. That's ridiculous. Like, it's an officially produced series, but it's not part of the main continuity. Don't confuse these things. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some good fan-made things out there. Just to name two well-known ones, we have the Dragon Ball AF fan manga and, of course, the Dragon Ball Multiverse fan manga. Both of these, pretty well done fan-made thing. I don't necessarily like the AF manga very much, but I do recognize that it's a very good fan-made thing. Multiverse manga, I like a little bit more than AF manga, but not everything out there is an AF or a multiverse. There are a lot of fan-made things that are bad. I'm not going to list any here because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but just trust me when I say not every bit of fan work out there is the greatest thing in the world. However, everything that's officially produced has done pretty freaking well. Not necessarily on levels of the Broly film, for example, when talking about Dragon Ball Super Broly for the record, but everything's done well and made the money to the degree it could. And it's certainly well known, but not everything, not every fan-made thing is as well known as officially produced item. You can make the argument, well, it's because they have money to throw for commercials and things like that, and it's put out there officially, so therefore people are going to know about it more than something that some fan put up on the internet for everyone to hopefully see and like. But I digress on that. But my point being that this is not a fan-made thing. It's an officially produced series, but it's not part of the main continuity, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. But just don't sit there and say because it's non-canon or not part of the main continuity, it's fan-made. That's not what it is. It's an officially produced series. It's not fan-made. It's the opposite of fan-made. But that said, what is the other big misconception that people tend to have about Super Dragon Ball Heroes? Well, the second big thing I've heard as of late is that people seem to think that Toriyama wrote the first 5 episodes of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Now, I have an idea of where they got this from, but I can't confirm if this is the only location. But apparently, over on IMDb, and I'll hopefully have a screenshot up here of it, Toriyama is credited as the writer or something for the first 5 episodes, but that's not true because in all the end credits for Super Dragon Ball Heroes, Yuki Kodota, I could be mispronouncing his name, I'll throw it up on the screen, an image of it, he's credited for writing the story. And the guy for the script, Atsuhiro Tomikoa, I will be throwing up his image too, and all this information is available on Kanzenshu. Like, the official people that worked on the series are listed on Kanzenshu's website. Like, I'll be throwing a link to the promotional episode guide and everything for just Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Everything will be listed here, and this is why I've told people in the past, fact check. Just don't take people's word for it. Fact check. Kanzenshu is a wonderful wealth of information for facts about Dragon Ball. Whether it be checking Toriyama interviews, who actually worked on something, etc., etc. And there are people that aren't even necessarily staff with Kanzenshu on the forums that have gone out of their way to make complete list of information about things. Like, some of it about like fan-made materials, some of it about officially produced things, who worked on this episode, who made this music, who's voicing this character, etc., etc., if it's publicly known, of course. But my point being that fact checking is something every Dragon Ball fan should start trying to do. Don't just sit there and assume, well, Toriyama forgot, hence blah blah blah. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard somebody say Toriyama forgot something, and I can literally pull up like an interview where he admits to, remembering it, basically. Like, to use an example today, someone tried to say that Toriyama forgot about the Saiyan Tales. This could not be further from the truth. I'm going off a little off topic here, but just kind of want to add this in as an example. So the Saiyan Tales, people are trying to say he forgot about it. There's literally concept art of Super Saiyan 3 that he drew. Like, it's early draft, but it was a concept art of Super Saiyan 3. I'll throw an image of it up where he draws Goku with a tail, so he didn't forget about it, clearly. And there's even an interview where someone asked him about why Goten and Trunks didn't have tails. I covered this in a previous video. Go check it out. I'll put it down in the description. But it's about Goten and Trunks. It's a theory I have. But anyways, he says that the Saiyan tails are a recessive trait, so he didn't forget. Yes, Toriyama has forgotten things, but it's not as often as people like to accuse him of, of, and certainly not for everything that people seem to accuse him of. Like, most of the things he actually forgets, people don't ever get him on the right things. Like, they accuse him of things he never forgot. It's kind of ridiculous, but my core point of this is, don't just take somebody's word for it, fact check it. Or ask them to provide evidence. Where are they getting it from? Is it from a credible source? Don't go to the Dragon Ball Wiki for your information. Trust me, there's a lot of bad info on there. No offense to the men and women working on the Dragon Ball Wiki, but it is not the most credible source on the internet for Dragon Ball information. That title goes to Kanzenshuu.com in terms of websites, but I digress. But my point being that every bit of information that I've talked about today is available on Kanzenshuu. You can go and check it out. I highly recommend their site. Not sponsored, not paid, and I'm not really friends with anybody over there, to my knowledge. If I am, it's unbeknownst to me, and they haven't exposed themselves as a staff member on Kanzenshuu.com. But that said, that's all I got today, guys. I just really wanted to get this out there because I've seen so many people trying to say that, you know, it's fan-made when it's not, and Toriyama wrote it when he didn't. And there's nothing wrong with it not being written by Toriyama, by the way. It's just kind of ridiculous that people try to give him credit for things he didn't do and then try to accuse him of something that accuse him of forgetting something that he didn't forget. It's rather ridiculous. But anyway, so that's all I got to say today, guys. I'll be linking pretty much any related info that I needed to link down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video and the rest of my content, hit that notification bell so you can see when I do upload a new video, as I do it once a week, but not the same day every week. It just depends on when I get an idea for a video or whenever I finish up one of my backlog projects, which I still have a few I need to finish up, unfortunately, but we'll get to that. And friendly reminder for those of you that are still here, if whenever I reach 1,000 subscribers, and that's still ways off admittedly, but it's just sort of something to maybe incentivize you guys to help me reach 1,000 subscribers. But when I do, I have a big video project I've been working on for a while now. Still needs a bit more tweaking before it's ready, but the second I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will release it. And if I hit 1,000 subscribers before I have it finished, then, well, I'll get it finished ASAP so I can release it at 1,000 subscribers. But I promise you, it'll be released either at 1,000 or just after 1,000. But either way, it will be done. That requires you guys to get me to 1,000 subscribers. And I will deliver on that promise if and when I hit 1,000 subscribers. But thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day. Peace. Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.